All right, it just keeps happening. Palantir locks down another multi-million dollar contract. But the best part about this is that it's an international deal. This also brings up, though, some thoughts for me on how well their government business is positioned, which I'll cover shortly too. So, getting to the point first, Palantir's latest win is a 7.15 million Australian dollar or 4.7 million US dollar contract. This was awarded by Australia's Department of Defense on October 29, which seems to span from August 2024 to December 2027 for the contract period, and that's about 1 year and 4 months. The interesting part is that the contract period taking place before the published date essentially seems to me that they've already been working on this and probably proved themselves the past 2.5 months. Now, as noted, this is an international government deal, so it's nice to see them keep up in the markets where we don't hear too much about them, especially when it comes to a US ally out in the Pacific region. And I kind of lump this into the news when I hear about any deals regarding Korea and Japan, because the closest military conflict in that region will likely be against China if they were to invade Taiwan or just keep upping the aggression in the South China Sea. Now, I think the bigger picture here is over the coming quarters, is their government business in general going to keep pace to still be very strong as a factor in their earnings performance? Now, for me personally, I wouldn't be surprised if US government business wise and maybe international keeps up with commercial in the short term. This will more likely be driven by geopolitical events in addition to the election and the actions of the winning administration. I'd say either party winning will still be fine overall for Palantir as a business over the long term, but the way they capitalize it on it in the short term, that will probably look a little bit different. Even if the US goes in a more isolationist approach or domestic focus, this will play a role in the types of projects that will have opportunities for contracts versus the continuance and possible acceleration of the United States' participation in global conflicts, from actual military support to just sending money and equipment. Palantir has their hands in both sides, essentially, where we've covered in the channel contracts spanning from the US Army, most notably the recent Titan project showcasing their ability to bring the latest technology to the military, all the way to getting money from the NIH or National Institute of Health, where I suspect this is more of an operational focus for them to actually function efficiently. These are two totally different categories, but the application of Palantir's products seems to be very valuable for both parties of these customers, as we've seen with them winning contracts over time. And it's not a one or the other approach I'm proposing here. This is all speculation, and both types of business with the US government will continue, no doubt. But when there is a focus on certain things by the US government, money always seems to make it into the hands of those ready to actually serve what's being asked for them to provide. So definitely exciting to see another government deal for Palantir, even if it's international, just as I suspect a possible trend in the US government, even if at a smaller scale internationally, if they're able to capitalize on this diversification, even with the international government customers from serving to the military to planned administration, I'd say they have a chance to serve a much more wider base amongst US allies and bring a cohesive product that can embed themselves as a foundational ecosystem needed to function at a similar level amongst other US allies if they look up to us, even if it's a bit slower to catch up though. So let me know your thoughts below, and I'll see you in the next video.